Hi, everybody. Hi, 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 hi. This is great. I love this. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Quarantine day 38 for me. Going a little bit crazy. Having a little bit of fun. Okay, guys, check it out. Today, I'm going to teach you how to transform this bag of bread into this delicious treat, which you cannot see. How about this delicious treat? Delicious treat, get a good lighting. Oh, making some bread pudding. Making some bread pudding. Bread pudding for you. This deliciousness, look at that lovely piece of bread pudding. How nice does that look? Oh, today on this day of Robert Goes Crazy at Home because he's been inside for 38 days, we're making bread pudding. This is a very easy recipe. You can use a bag of bread if you have old bread like I do, or you can use whatever heels or dinner rolls or pitas or whatever. It doesn't matter. It just happens to be that I have 2 bags of these. This is Costco rolls. Why don't I pick them up one more time? And we're just going to show you how to transform this. It's really easy. Watch. So what I have here is I have some Costco dinner rolls. These are a lightly sweetened bread, not quite as sweet as King's Hawaiian, but you can use whatever you want. This is 24 ounces total weighed out, so that should be able to help you when you're buying your bread. You can see the weight on the package. You could use King's Hawaiian, you could use a sourdough, you could use plain white bread, you could use a wheat bread. I like these, they have a nice texture. You can see here, it's just kind of a white bread, but it's got a nice brown crust on it and it's lightly sweetened already. So that's what I like. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cube these up and put them in a bowl. I will say this, I try not to smush them, so if you use a sharp knife or a serrated knife, that's good, just to kind of keep the bread kind of fluffy. There you go. That's all there is to cutting up the bread. Now you could toast this if you want. I like to leave mine raw. Well, bread raw. Okay, then we're going to add 5 eggs, and I like to do them one at a time into a bowl just to make sure we don't have any bad ones. This is especially good practice if you have your own chickens and you never quite know if the eggs have been checked or not. I'm pretty sure that these Costco eggs are going to be just fine. Just showing you a good practice here. Now you do see there's a little spot on that one. It's fine. I just want to make sure we don't get any shells. I think I'm going to go for just one more because these are pretty small eggs in my book. There we go. 6 eggs. All right, then I'm going to go for 3 cups of half and half. Now you could use a heavy cream or something like that, or you could make it lighter by using something like regular milk, but I want to make mine a little bit rich, so I'm going to go for 3 cups of half and half. Then we're just going to whisk this up and set it aside. I just want to make sure we get those eggs well incorporated. Then put a good pinch of salt, maybe just a little bit more. And we can set that back. Okay, so now let's get going on our dry ingredients. So what I have here is just a bowl. And I got some brown sugar. I buy my brown sugar in bulk, so it's in a reusable container here. And we want 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar. If you don't have brown sugar, you're in quarantine or whatever, it's fine. You can totally use white sugar. I love the caramely flavor of the molasses in the brown sugar. And the reason you do packed is because you want to try to get a consistent measure. All right, so 3/4 of that. Got our cinnamon, just using some ground cinnamon here. And I'm gonna start with 1 heaping. Let's just do 1 heaping tablespoon of cinnamon. You can make it more, you can make it less. You don't have to make it at all. And then I'm just gonna mix this up well. Try to get the lumps out of the brown. And again, just a little pinch of salt. The salt helps brings out the sweet flavor. Okay guys, that looks pretty good and smells amazing. And then I'm just going to dump half of this in here. And then just mix it up. The other half we're going to use as a topping. So you can see it's gotten a little bit light brown. So we're just going to try to get the sugar dissolved. All right, it's that easy, you guys. Then we just take our big one and bring it back over here. And we just want to pour the custard in. Just pour it over because we're going to get it all nice and soaked. Now, this is the part where you're going to use a little judgment. Your bread might be a little more wet. It might be a little more dry. So, you're going to have to eyeball this a little bit. But generally, this is probably about right. And then just toss it all. You want to make sure all of the bread gets wet. And your custard gets absorbed. You can probably see there's a little bit there in the bottom. Can you see that? Yeah. We're going to let it sit for about 10 or 15 minutes now. All right, just going to smash it down into the liquid. Again, if you think it's too dry, add a little more of the milk. If you think it's too wet, you're going to bake it a little more. All right, let's set that aside for about 10 minutes. I'm going to let that, as my mom would say, num num num. It's going to absorb all that. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, depending what you have in your kitchen, being in this house, I don't have any of my 9x13s or any of those baking dishes I just discovered this morning. So we're going to be using some cake pans. I've got 3 cake pans here. I think it might take all 3 of them, but we'll see. So it's pretty easy. You can pack it full. So let's start with 2. We're just going to spray these lightly with some cooking spray so that the custard doesn't stick. I say lightly, I mean heavily. Get a good coating on there because it is eggs. We don't want it to stick. If you don't want to use cooking spray, you could use butter, you could use oil, you could use coconut oil, you could use whatever you want. So there you go. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. We've just let our bread sit. So now we're just going to carefully spoon it into the molds here. So I'll try to get it away from the edge a little bit just to make it even. If you like a nice big casserole pan, go for it. Like I said, I just didn't have that available to me today. And I didn't want to go out and get one with all the quarantining going on. All right, that looks pretty even, you guys. What you think? What you think about that? Looks pretty good if you ask me about that. Okay, then we have our cinnamon and sugar mix here. And I'm going to try to do pretty evenly between the two. You don't have to do this if you're trying to watch your sugar or whatever, but I thought it would make a nice little crumb topping. Maybe you like the edges. Maybe you like it crispy on top. That could be an option too. Get it all. I do declare, sir, looks delicious. And I do declare, sir, that that looks delicious as too. Oh, look at how much they puffed up. I love it. That looks so good, you guys. I'm very excited. Can you see the steam? Look at that steam erupting right there. Ooh. Ah. So just to let you know, so you can touch it. You can see it's a little jiggly. We want it a little jiggly. That means the eggs are doing their job. I think we got the perfect amount in there. It's puffed up just a bit. It's going to drop down a little bit. I'm feeling very proud right now. Yeah, it looks great. All right, let's let it cool down. Whew, because it is hot, hot, hot. You can also see that the butter has soaked in and done its job of giving some loveliness. Oh, I just want to keep touching it. It looks so good. Oh, I'm so excited, you guys. So it's been about a half an hour. I just let these cool down. They're still pretty warm, but I just wanted to let them cool down. So you can see here that they have shrank a little bit. They shrunk up from the sides a little bit, which is actually going to be good for us because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on a plate, and this should be pretty easy to get out of here. I'm thinking it should come out in one big piece. Maybe not. Okay. All right, I'm going to do a second chance. I'm going to do a different plan. I'm just going to slice this like a pie and just cut myself a nice wedge. Normally I said like I do, I put this in a casserole pan, so this is a little different for me, but it's going to be good. I'm so excited. So basically we have a custard and we have the bread pudding and all right. Let's get a nice little slice out of here. I don't have a pie server, so there you go. Look at that. Totally came out. Looks great. Dun 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 dun. Super sexy bread pudding, looking really good to me. I wanna eat you. I'll take a couple Instagram shots for the gram. Do it for the gram. All right. Boo! And we're back with delicious bread pudding. So yeah, we've got our crunchy top. We've got a little bit of sweetness going on there. By the way, if you don't want to make this sweet, don't put the sugar in it. You could mix in some onions. You could mix in some savory vegetables. You could totally make this into a savory dish. I have a sweet tooth, so I am going to make this. So anyway, so let's give it a taste. It's got nice custard in it. It's You guys, that is nostalgia for me. So we used to collect all the heels at the end of the bread. And with 6 people in our family, we went through a lot of bread. So whenever we have 2 bags of bread heels or whatever else, stale bread, we would make bread pudding. Now, obviously, we would make it much larger than this, but oh, it's so good. So just eggs, milk, a little bit of sugar, cinnamon if you want. You don't even have to do that. A scoop of ice cream, a drizzle of caramel sauce. Get crazy. How about some strawberries? How about put some fruit in it? It is so good, you guys. It has a nice texture. Let's see if I can get a nice good close-up for you guys. Touch on it and get it nice and focused. Look at that. It has a nice texture. It's nice and eggy. It's not too sweet. I ain't got nothing else to say about that. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're in your bunker, and this is a bunker buster style recipe where you can use up old stuff. You can make with new stuff. You could get crazy and use brioche. What about that bread that you made last week when you were causing part of the yeast crisis? You could use that bread too. This works really well for day-old bread. You could shop the bargain section at the grocery store and get some old bread. It works even better with old bread than fresh bread. So there you go. There's your hot tip. I'm Robert Jones. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something today, give me a like. I'd love to have you come back for more. Hit the subscribe. Come on back. Hit the bell if you want to get notified by me. Find me on Instagram. Do all the crazy stuff. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm like everywhere, and I'm in the house. And send me a message because I need to hear from somebody. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.